Well, hello. Looks like we're getting ready for a brand new full moon. A blue moon! Wow, look at us, a blue moon. A lot of people always ask astrologers, what is the significance of a blue moon? Nothing. It's just two full moons during the construct of 1 month. And of course, the idea of how many days are in a month is a human construct. It's a calendar that we created, and we always try to place some inner meaning behind that, but there really isn't. Of course, the idea that the Neil Armstrong tribute is coming out with the moon being a blue moon is kind of interesting. So the coincidence there is kind of fun. But there we have it. So blue moon, nah, just another full moon, just two in the same calendar month. So here we have it. The emphasis, of course, is on Virgo. So Virgo again, once again, comes into the fore, and it's an earth sign, it's a cold, dry sign, and it gives us a reason to start looking at the winter coming months and seeing if there's something we can start making preparations for. The full moon across the board always shows us that the Pisces is important, that the Virgo is important, so the emotions may run a little bit higher this month for people who are born, or this week I should say, for people who are born in the sign of Pisces. That may hit them. I think the biggest concern is not necessarily all of this, but the fact that when Isaac started developing itself, that hurricane was when Mars went over Saturn, and it brought the hurricane with it. Well, the thing is that as Mars goes past Saturn and it moves onward through Scorpio, it's also going to bring on the same kind of an intensity in our lives. So a lot of us who are experiencing planets that reside in the sign of Leo, the sign of Aquarius, or the sign of Taurus, and even Scorpio to some degree, are going to feel that translation of light that Mars is captured from Saturn and is bringing on by, and it's going to continue to move through that sign. And as it does, all of those squares will activate, and we will see frustrations, problems, situations that need to be overcome. And my recommendation is see if you can't overlook this period and just say, oh, well, things happen, and move on. You have to be the higher man here in this case, or the higher lady. Don't mean to be sexist. But the whole situation is basically that Mars coming off of Saturn is a very negative one. The two planets, Mars and Saturn, always relate to some kind of negative warfare. I mean, it's the destruction and tearing down of things. If it's actually, this would be the greatest time you could muster if you were going to rebuild your home. Great time to tear the home down, take a look at that Saturn foundation, remake the footprint, and then turn that around much to your liking. The whole system here is all about Virgo, the details, and the moon over here, lack of details with a dreamy nature state. And so the emotions might run high for the Piscean, Cancerian, and the Scorpion side. So we're looking at that, and of course the Earth side, looking where the Sun sits in the Earth sign, we're going to be looking at Capricorn and Taurus. Taurus getting the most of the hit because of the fact that it is opposite that sign of Mars, which is bringing in that Saturn energy. So the translation of light of Mars picking up Saturn and then moving on through the sign is going to continue until Mars gets hit or it gets an aspect by some other situation. It'll culminate by then, and then when that culminates, you're going to be coasting home. But until that happens in your own personal charts, you'll be probably experience frustration. And that's for the sign of Leo, Aquarius, and Taurus. All of these four signs are experiencing this translation of light from Mars off of Saturn into Scorpio, and that square segment is going to be pulling in some pretty rough spots. So again, try to overlook it. Mistakes do happen, and just see what happens. Best way to go, be the bigger person. Just let things roll on by. Look at all the squares that are going on as well, plus the opposition. Well, there's always an opposition here. The hopeful part is that we can take a good look at ourselves here and really laugh from our mistakes and learn from them. Well, that's it for today. Have a great week. I'll see you next week. Buon fortuna.